As far as dairy goes, is coconut milk the best for something to drink? Goat's milk is gross, I can't do it. I was iffy on the almond milk myself. So I've touched on this a little bit, and if milk is your thing and you want to have it, you gotta have it, you love it, I'll say it again, you gotta make sure it's not full of seed oils or any seed oils at all. And I know when I was back doing the plant-based thing and I was getting the coconut milk or the almond milk, whatever, not even looking, I had no idea about seed oils. I just thought it'd be good to have some milk. I don't even know why though. Now, before I went plant-based, I remember having my skim milk and I remember going to the refrigerator and I would just chug it like it was just feeding me, and not even looking into the problems with pasteurized dairy products. But it seems like as far as all of these milk substitutes go or oil substitutes go, coconut is always a good bet. Coconut oil is usually, a good bet. I use coconut oil as a replacement for my lotions. I don't use really lotion anymore. I just use coconut oil. But if you're wondering, yeah, I guess coconut milk would be okay, but just look at those ingredients and see how many carbohydrates are in it, how much sugar is in it, how much seed oil is in it, if there's any seed oil in it. I know that I would get raw milk, and the good thing that I learned about raw milk is that it lasts a long time, because when it goes, quote unquote, I guess, I don't know if rancid is the right word, because it would turn into yogurt. And I know there's a lot of places that forbid raw milk, even though I don't understand why, but that's that, what do you want to call it, stigma out there. It's like, no, that's saying, red meat is bad. That's that stigma out there that's saying eggs are bad. That it all, to me, clumps up into that whole stigma. I've heard that raw kefir is a great way to go. I would look into kefir, check it out, do some research on that, and that might be your better bet. But kefir also kind of tastes like yogurt without any sweetener. Me, I kind of just did away with dairy. I kind of just said why I don't really need it. I kind of did away with the yogurt that I was eating, because it was just a pain to be checking for sugar and carbohydrate that was in it. It was just, why am I consuming this? And I did a video on the heavy cream that I use, that I found that's pretty expensive, that has 0 carbohydrates, 0 sugar in it. So if I do want to make a little treat for myself, some homemade ice cream like I did last night using my protein powder, that's my go-to as far as dairy goes. But I have heard that goat's milk is very nutritious. I myself have tried it, didn't mind it. I could totally do goat's milk, but again, it got to the point where it isn't a need, it isn't a must. I'm starting to look more into coffee and the things that it blocks your body from absorbing nutritionally, and starting to think, do I even need to be drinking coffee anymore? Therefore, I wouldn't need any creamer, because I do like my coffee with some cream. But I'm just starting to filter things out. I know it's getting more and more extreme on the sense that I'm cutting out more things. I'm just cutting out, eliminating more things to see how my body does without it, if my body is doing better without these things. 20 years ago, my fit journey was about building muscle and having an amazing fit body that I'd always dreamed about having, but I really wasn't looking this deep into nutrition. Back then, it was all about protein, carbohydrates, and good fats, but then we were kind of conditioned back then, this was like in the 90s, for women to think that fats were bad, therefore ruining our hormones, our cholesterol production, damaging our brains, Which is why I encourage people to do some research. I encourage people to use themselves as a guinea pig. If you're having issues with something, start doing an elimination diet and see how you feel. It might not be easy. There's people that cannot imagine a world without coffee. But there were times where people who are addicted to soda couldn't imagine their daily Mountain Dew or Dr. Pepper fix. Me, I can't imagine consuming any of those. And that's why it's such a personal journey. So look into these things, do your research, test these things out. You may be saving your own life as we speak. But just remember, those seed oils, bad food. I will say it again. This is not the place for all things in moderation.